Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have failed to come up with a new I am not amused, interrupting my judgment only to be silent. Thinking, I just blurted out objection. I have to answer. I won't let this end here. My reasoning is not over yet. So, how did she use the breaker without leaving the detention center? It's perfectly possible. With this method. Make it possible to turn off the breaker. She had an accomplice. Timing of the incident. Her position as the warden. I think it's the accomplice bit. I think Albert and her were working together. Wouldn't that make a lot of sense? It was indeed impossible for one person. But what if there were two? Exactly. Just what I expected from you, Miles. Yes. You had an accomplice on the prison side. Enough. I am disappointed in you. Prosecutor Edgeworth? What's that, pal? You're making fun of Mr. Edgeworth. The inmates at this prison all wear bracelets. If they try and go, where they please, they will set out the alarm. Ah! So you noticed. This is a prison after all. Not only the prisoners, but the guards too, are under constant scrutiny. Why didn't anyone notice Albert? The only ones allowed to move around freely are the animals. And they certainly could not have used the breaker. But it's still possible that a person did it. Excluding the inmates and the guards, just what kind of person would you say it was? We can't exclude the inmates and guards just yet. There was only one person, one whose movement was not restricted. This evidence shows that there was someone in the prison who couldn't move around freely. Oh my god, it's that dude, huh? Schwit? Oh my god!
Take that.
That is... It looks like the bracelet worn by the prisoner. This belongs to a certain model inmate. And it's broken. What? Just who on earth does this belong to? Frank Schuett, the warden's favorite inmate. Oh, look at her. Don't you think it's strange? He managed to keep this hidden while he moved around freely in his daily prison life. Golly, when you think about it, it shouldn't be possible. I hazard a guess that this was because he was a special case. Just like Saren Dogen in the special cell. A prosecutor's statement is mere conjecture. You could find out by simply asking Schuett himself. It was my firm belief that Mr. Schuett and Warden Roland were partners in crime. Due to the collaboration, another route surfaces. The real route by which Knightley's body was moved to the prison. There were two obstacles that needed to be dealt with. The security camera in front of Knightley's cell. And the electric fence in the courtyard. Both these problems could have been solved with a single stroke. By having Schuett switch off the breakers in the breaker room. Mr. Edgeworth, could you wait one moment? Do you still intend to deny it, Warden Roland? I give in, I confess. Warden Roland! No, this cannot be. Yes, it's just as he said. Frank Schuett and I were partners in crime. No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! Well done, Miles! At last, we have the real culprit. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, Frankie operated the breaker, but we were not responsible for Knightley's murder. What? Warden Roland, whatever do you mean? Judge Courtney, would the Goddess of Law hear my confession? The Goddess of Law is merciful. She will absolve you. I was being threatened. That's why I had no choice but to do as I was told. So who was threatening you? Shahan Dogen, that assassin. Dogen? It's been going on since that man came to prison. I will never forget that day. When we were both alone, he suddenly said to me, I have many dogs outside the prison. Dogs? Loyal dogs who obey my every command. Soon realized that what Dogen referred to were not really dogs, but his human henchmen. And that's not all he said. You better watch how you treat me. You don't want you and your family to become dog food. I had no choice. I gave him the special cell. I gave him anything he desired. Anything he desired? You don't mean the supplier? That's right. Anything he ordered, I would deliver to him. Underground dealership. I was the one who won over Frankie. It was simple. I just offered him special privileges within the prison. And these underground dealings. Once a week in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off 2 of the breakers. So I could move from my office to the courtyard without being seen by the security camera. I would go past the fence and drop the goods down the well near the prison. And then I'd sprinkle this perfume over it. So that's the true identity of the sweet scent. The scent of perfume was a signal for Dogen's dog. After picking up the scent, it would carry the goods to Dogen. Of course, this had to be done when Albert was away from his cell. I'm surprised he never found out about it, pal. We had a strict timetable here at the prison. Meal time, exercise time. Easy to know when he's away from his cell. And since little Rocky is afraid of Dogen's dog, I didn't have to worry about him making noise. But having full knowledge of the prison's inner workings, she made the deliveries herself. This would ensure there were no slip-ups. Frankie would turn the breakers back on in the early morning and the delivery was complete. I then modified the timestamp on the security camera. You have told us a great deal. The Goddess of Law accepts your pertinent conversation. The Goddess of Law accepts your penitent confession. As the warden of the prison, how could I have done such a foolish thing? The day Knightley was killed was also delivery day. Seems Frankie was working the breakers as usual. But that day I had nothing to send, so I did not go to the courtyard at all. The secret of the supply system. So then Warden Roland was... The police had been searching for Dogen's henchmen for ages. I've been helping them, but... I've been interrogating him personally in my office. But... no matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him. So the reason you kept on interrogating him? Yet, it was the finest henchman. I bought all the evidence from the police and carried out the interrogation myself. I kept an eye on all his actions and examined all his mail. Mail? Like his correspondence chest letters. But I could never uncover the true identity of his henchmen. This fear, it's something you could never understand. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you were listening, right? I'll say this confession clears the warden of all suspicion. It's really necessary to press any further than this. Necessary to press her further? Yes, obviously. Judge Courtney, my questioning isn't over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either. You mean to badger this woman further? Even if she was threatened by Dogen, this does not prove she was not the culprit in this case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body. Do you have any evidence to support this? The body gave off a sweet scent. The scented perfume that was used to signify a delivery. Can you explain this fact? Oh, of course. Since I have made so many deliveries, the scent would have been lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it. Mr. Albert has testified to this fact. That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent. A nice scent? I don't know what it was. It smelled sweet. Candy. The lingering scent in the well would, of course, be picked up by anything passing through. The defense rests, I see. In that case, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do? What should I do? Is this as far as I could go? Is it over already? Yes, Sebastian, it is. And now, court is officially adjourned. Who was that? It's not nice of you to adjourn things just like that, Courtney Pie. Mr. Shields, are you objecting to the court adjourning? Of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn the court. Do whatever you like. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Shields? Oh there, calm down, Kay. Who wants some chocolate? Is this a joke? You'll have to excuse me. I just have one tiny request to make. As Simon Key's attorney. That's right, you're the defense attorney in charge of this case, aren't you? Exactly. Did you all forget? That's so mean. But you just left everything to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all. Yes, that's right. That's why I thought I'd do my job a bit. Do your job? Oh, it sounds like you at home. Oh, I love that so much. Oh my god. Slam dunk. It's to prepare for the trial. I'd like to ask the warden a few questions. Surely you jest. What more would you expect to hear from her? Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit. My thoughts? Uncle Ray believes that Simon is not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear your Mr. Edgeworth, what's Mr. Shields up to? He's trying to lure Warden Roland into testifying. The supply route used to transport the body. I'd say it is to pin the other crime on Dogen. I see! If he committed a murder here, he would be transferred into another prison. One with tighter security. And that would get rid of the troublemaker. Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that. Hey, hold on a second. Culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I was supposed to be prosecute. Exactly. So wouldn't it be better at the best also listen to what she has to say? Amazing, Mr. Shields. You managed to drag Mr. the Best into this, too! Warden Roland, is this acceptable? Oh, it's fine. You understand a woman's heart. Thank you, mademoiselle. Actually, I've thought of this over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You'll let me speak, won't you, Justine, darling? Of course, you may speak. Mr. Shields, awesome! That was a close shave. Thank you, Mr. Shields. No, I'm still leaving the rest to you. Remember what I said. A defense attorney never gives up. The fate of a client rests on our shoulders, after all. You'd be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, you've done the show. You'll never give up. Right. Well then, will you listen to my story? The story. I believe the culprit in this case could only have been Dogen. I have no idea what transpired between Dogen and the victim. Simply could not have been that Dogen was displeased with him. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. He probably had a dog dispose of the body. This is the truth of the case. The victim, Miss Knightley, was it? I think it was a truly terrible thing. Taking a man's life, you mean? That's how he'd go about it, saying it, isn't it? If only I'd been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I want to clear up his regrets. Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Mr. Knightley in heaven is overflowing with gratitude. Is gratitude really what Knightley feels? Report. Culprit in this case only have been Dogen. So far, nothing problem with it. What transpired? This sounds like a fetch. Knightley was being held at the detention center, and Dogen was in the prison. They couldn't have made any contact, don't you think that would have prevented trouble? The prison is quite convenient, right? There were many ways for them and me. Knightley was murdered days before he would have been sentenced to prison. Surely there weren't many ways a meeting could have occurred. Even without a direct meeting, Dogen could still cause trouble. Mark my words. Be displeased. What about displeased? What could Knightley have done in the detention center to displease him? That was just an example. You don't have to take it so seriously. Didn't I already say that I had no idea what transpired between them? Nevertheless, you certainly are a serious one, Edgeworth, dearie. What's this? A piercing glaze. Oh, it's standing straight and stiff. Very nice. Looking very clever, my dear. I think I'm about to become your biggest fan. Mr. Edgeworth, stay focused. It's just a flesh wound. Right. Is this some form of psychological warfare? There was nothing that could have transpired despite the fact that you check his things? Oh, I don't have it yet. I need to connect a few other things first. But the fact that she doesn't talk about this is a problem. And I'm trying to get that link together. Arg. Okay. You stabbed the victim. Okay, so I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder. Well, I suppose it was a simple job. During his booking, I heard that the victim had some kind of injury in his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the right. I remember him saying something like that. Booking, the process one undergoes before being locked up in the detention center. Sounds like you don't really know a lot about Knightley. I only know a little. In any case, he would have been an easy target for Dogen. Perhaps he used a chisel hidden in the chessboard? The victim wouldn't even have a chance to scream. I see. Your opinion will be a very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony? You're making me blush. You're so C-U-T-E. I'm just kidding. I'll continue. How would she know about the chessboard situation? I guess Justine, right? The chessboard? The thing that the victim brought with him. It seemed like he really enjoyed playing chess. How could I have guessed that chisel would have been hidden inside it? The chisel on the chessboard. The fact is only known by a select few people. This is the answer we arrived at from our reasoning, after all. So then, why does she know about this? In Dogen's hands, even a chisel is enough to be used as a lethal weapon. Okay, so do we have this hidden there? Or played chess through the mail? What's this? Both those. It's not it. We should have the chisel somewhere, right here. Maybe? Yeah, we're going too fast for our bridges here. Arg. I knew I shouldn't have. Ah, this is like a different one too. Jeez. She keeps glaring at me. It's rude. I just want to jump to conclusions so bad. You certainly seem to hold strong feelings toward Dogen. That's just natural. Remember my interrogations? That man, no matter how much evidence we find, he's still as slippery as a snake. You got a lot of guts. That smug look he has on his face when he returns to his cell. Just thinking about it makes my stomach churn. I could sort of understand how you feel. Probably the dog disposed of the body, if this is the truth of the case. We already established that the dog couldn't have done it. Do you mean to say the dog threw the body into the well? Dogen has more than one dog, not just the black one, you know. Didn't I tell you he has a henchman outside these walls as well? You mean this henchman outside the prison aided him in this crime? Of course not. They would have been caught by the security gates. But think about it. Wasn't he the supplier? Not hard to think he had dogs within the prison too. Oh, well then. Why don't you tell me the names of the so-called dogs? If I knew that, I wouldn't have gone through so much trouble. In any case, it's still a possibility. Please try to consider it. Just dodging the question. Can't I pursue this line of thought any further? Warden Roland's testimony is covered in lies. If I pick them apart one by one, the true colors will surely be revealed. I believe this culprit is only Dogen. No idea what transferred Dogen and the victim. The thing is that, like, for sure, she has something. That's the thing that's getting me about this. He was the one to stab the victim to death. Perhaps he used the chisel on the chessboard. Sure it would have been a simple job. You certainly seem to hold strong feelings toward Dogen. Okay, so that part I did get that one. The truth of the case. And that. So press that. You seem very confident of that. How can you be so sure? The children of this home are all good little boys and girls. Believe in yourself, believe in your friends, and believe in me and the gods. There's no way any of these hard-working children could have committed a murder. For an emotional reason. Makes sense coming from someone like her. Only Dogen would be capable of something like that. I don't know which to pursue. He was the one that stabbed the victim to death. He used the chisel board. It would have been a simple job. Despite the fact that it was not a simple job. Dogen's bell. Confiscated. Attached to that. Time of death. Yeah, she's really got me under a barrel here. Did we get this? Do you mean to say the dog threw the body into the well? Okay, so this is what she meant by that. Henchman. Can have only been Dogen. I have no idea what transported between them. Did I just present the wrong evidence between the two? Perhaps he used to chisel him in the chessboard. So, what if we present this? There you go, we presented the wrong thing. Warden Roland, you suddenly are sharp-witted. Hey, enough with the titles. Call me Patty. P-A-T-T-Y. However, there's something you were a little too knowledgeable about. Embarrassed? You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth dear. Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth! You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how did you know about the chisel inside the chessboard? Oh, of course, the entrance check. Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check. The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keyes. He didn't even have it when you arrived here. That's my mistake. I meant the paracel check. Even if we assume that, there are still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated? Ah! Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trick to the chessboard? I did not. If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could have examined this during the entrance check or parcel check. Certainly. Someone in the warden's position would never have let a chisel slip by. Exactly. So answer this, Warden Roland. When and how did you learn about the chessboard secret? In that case, I'll answer for you. It is because... I give up, Edgeworth dear. It is as you say. I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about the chessboard. But please believe me, I didn't kill anyone. Enough. It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more if that's alright with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. No objections here. Thank you, Edgeworth dear. I'll do my best. Well then, Warden Roland, I trust there will no lies from here on out. The pool of lies is still running dry, so I'll bring out her true nature. Almost there. I feel it in my bones. Her story part 2. I won't go so far as to call an interrogation. I always make sure to talk to all the new rivals. Mr. Knightley, yes, we got a little chat. After our talk, he went right back into his cell, I assure you. He's piling lies on top of lies, not realizing that it only tightens the noose around her neck. You speak with the new prisoners, you say? That's right! I'm glad you understand. But your testimony is not solid evidence. It requires more than just understanding. Well then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.